Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We are here in Fort Wayne at Pepsi facility delivering some fridges I hauled from Missouri yesterday. Today's Wednesday. And I originally wasn't going to come up here. I was going to find a shop in St. Louis and have them fix my truck. However, there's like a family friend, I guess you could call him, that's worked on many classics, owns a shop up here, and I was like, okay, I trust that guy more than just a random shop in St. Louis, since I wasn't going to take it to Freightliner because Freightliner would just be ridiculously overpriced. So it is what it is. Long story short is, as I mentioned in the previous video, I found some oil in my, not oil, I found some metal shavings in my oil pan, which, here, I'll just put a picture up right here so you can check it out and see what it is. But basically, to me, what it looks like shavings of bull gear, which basically bull gear is your timing gear on your crankshaft, I believe, is what it is. And that's what I think it is. However, I mean, this engine is getting old since the rebuild. It had a rebuild in 2015, so it's definitely been some time since the rebuild anyways. So if we're going to be opening that whole thing up, might as well rebuild it. Now, the issue arises with trucks like this is, I mean, you know, you buy a used truck, and obviously you hope that it lasts. But then time comes for a rebuild, and you're stuck debating what do you do. Because, for example, a lot of people ask, oh, what I paid for a truck, this and that. I paid $17,500 for this truck. I mean, it's no secret. If you go on Marketplace, whatever, you can find these trucks. At least you used to be. Nowadays, you're not going to find this truck in shape that needs work, probably $25,000, $30,000. So, like, I got a good deal on the truck, I believe. I mean, like, and the thing is, these trucks are going up in value. I mean, for example, the driver in the company that's driving a 2015-16 Cascadia, he paid $25K for that truck, and this truck is probably right now worth $25,000-$30,000. So a 15-year-old truck is worth just as much as a 6-year-old truck, because these new trucks just don't maintain value, and these trucks do. But what I'm trying to say is, like, okay, I paid $17,500 for this truck, and then I went and bought like 4 new tires that brought me to 20, all my AC stuff, my steering, my alignments, all that crap. Like, let's say I put $5,000 more in it. And I mean, you gotta keep in mind, you know, water pump, the whole 9 yards. I did all the work myself. So, like, let's say I'm $25,000 deep in this truck right now. So, like, now this engine's gonna need a rebuild, and it comes down to, okay, how much is that gonna cost? Realistically, a full in-frame, just parts from Freightliner, are probably $13,000-$14,000, if not more, just parts from Freightliner. Can you do a cheap route? You can, and that's the issue. A lot of these companies that you see doing in-frames and rebuilt assembling engines, they just buy a cheap kit online that's gonna last you 100,000 miles and then it's gonna crap out. Like, I don't know if some of you are familiar with Fitzgerald glider kits, but a lot of people that buy them, those engines crap out in like 200,000 miles. And, you know, you have people with a brand new glider and the engines are crapping out at like 200,000 miles. And I know more than one person that has had that happen. And that's why you see a lot of people selling glider kit trucks with like 400,000 miles, 500,000 miles, because it survived till then. And they're like, okay, this is going to go any minute. I need to get rid of it. So, you know, using those cheap parts, it's just not going to last. But it also comes down to the fact of, like, okay, like, you could do an in-frame. Like, an in-frame, I don't know what the guy charges for labor, but the parts alone are like $13,000, $14,000. So I'm sure with the labor, it's going to cost me like $20,000. So the point I'm trying to make is, an in-frame is going to cost me as much as I paid for the truck, actually more. So, like, this truck, I'm going to come out with like $45,000 in it after an in-frame. And you got to keep in mind, you're still rolling in a used truck, you know? You still have a bunch of other crap that needs to get replaced. You have your transmission, you have your diffs, you have your whatever the hell not, your electronics, your wires, you know, and then there's a lot of things to just keep in mind. But I think at the end of the day, you know, if I can do an in-frame for 20 and be set mechanically for another, like, I'd say 4 years, that's worth it to me, honestly. Because even after that, and the truck's still going to be worth money, you know. So that's just kind of like my 2 cents about it, because I think these trucks are just going to go up in value. The truck overall is in decent shape. It's not like amazing shape, but it's in okay shape. And I plan to put in more work on it, you know, as time goes, as I have so far already. You know, a paint job and some polish on tanks and wheels would just make this thing look completely different. And putting new stacks on, it would just be a completely different truck. So I think, you know, I've taken care of the interior, everything in here, how I want it. And, you know, truck has grown on me. So that's the route I've decided to go. I don't want to just, you know, because, you know, a lot of people are like, okay, no, I would just sell it and just go buy a new truck. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to put $30,000 in another truck that's going to also need a rebuild. And then where are you at? You're in the same page and you're sitting even lower. Like, that's just the game, man. That's just the game with used trucks. That's just how it is. Like, most people that buy used trucks, that's what happens within the first year. They got to take an L and overhaul that engine, and then they're fine. Like, a buddy of mine bought a 07 Century for $17,000 with a cat, and then the thing gave out on him. There goes $35,000 for a cat Platinum. But he's good for another, you know, probably close to 1 million miles if he maintains that thing. So it just depends what you want, you know. Do you want to just right off the bat say, hey, I'm going to take these $60,000 that I'm going to put into this used truck and have a used truck. I'm going to put that 60 grand towards a new truck and pay off the rest in payments, which is not a bad idea either, because when you're done making those payments, you can sell that truck for that remaining 60. So you're still fine either way. But yeah, it's just how it is. It's how it works for everybody. Some people are luckier and some people just don't give a crap, because realistically, I could run this engine for more. I don't necessarily have to do this overhaul. I could just pop it open, clear out the metal shavings, check the gear, maybe even just replace the bull gear, because you don't have to open up the engine and the what's it called, the head gasket or any of that. You can just replace the bull gear and clear those shavings and call it a day and run it with that. I mean, you know, most people would just say do that, but it's gonna cost you a lot more money out on the road if you break down. Because imagine you go to like New Jersey or some crap and you break down and you're under a load. You know, you're gonna pay towing a couple $1,000, and then a load needs to get delivered. Like, shut up. Load needs to get delivered, and you got to get towed home. You got to get fixed. Like, it's gonna cost you more. So everything on the truck, just I try to be proactive as much as I can and fix things before they happen. But unfortunately, you just can't do that for everything. But yeah, enough of me blabbering. Hopefully I can get done here decently quick, and then I'm gonna go pilot for just a little bit, because I have a car rental appointment at noon, because I thought I wouldn't get done by then, but obviously I am gonna get done way before. So I'm gonna take this truck to the shop, and then I'm gonna rent a car, and I'm gonna drive home to St. Louis. I'm in Fort Wayne. It's like a 7-hour drive. And then Sunday morning, I'll leave for vacation to Bosnia for a month. So that'll be nice, some time away for trucking. So I guess the timing is all right. Good thing I do my own oil changes. You know, that's another thing, is I was doing my oil change and I seen it on the cap. I mean, so I know, you know, I seen that firsthand, and I was like, okay, this needs service. So we're gonna have them open up and see what it is. But yeah, let's hopefully get done here quick, and then we're gonna head to pilot and go from there. All right, welcome back everybody. Hopefully you can hear me right, because my truck is running, because I let my generator run out of gas like yesterday, because I don't want to put any gas in it so it sits while I'm gone. So as far as that goes, let me turn on this light up here. My fancy Harbor Freight flashlight. So while I'm sitting here killing some time, since my rental is not ready till noon, I'm just at a truck stop here clearing some things out the truck. I wanted to kind of go over, like, a lot of people ask, like, hey, how much did you pay for a truck, where'd you buy, etc., etc. If you're new to this channel, I used to be a company driver in this truck. It's my fiance's dad's old truck. He used to own this thing for 19 years, and then I was driving it, and I was like, hey, you know what, let me just go ahead and buy this thing, because I kind of know the history of it, where it's been, etc., etc. So what I want to do is kind of run through it with you guys, how much I paid for the truck and everything I've invested into this truck so far to have it where it is right now. Because you guys know, like, I've done a significant amount of work to this truck, and I want to kind of go through things in here, on the outside, in the engine bay. I kind of explain to you how much what cost me, and then, you know, kind of like why I'm deciding that I want to have this truck long term. So I guess first we'll start in the interior. So first, I guess let's switch to probably Super View. That'll be better. So as most of you know, if you remember the interior, I mean, the dash used to rattle like crazy. It was old, it was cracked. So we'll start up here first and kind of like take our way back. So the dash, I replaced the dash skeletons, which is this right here behind these panels. The dash skeletons, this one here and this one here, was about $300, okay? There's gonna be things that I'm gonna name that didn't have to get replaced. There's things that did have to get replaced, but I'm gonna name absolutely everything that I did replace, because that's the money I have in this truck, essentially, at the end of the day. Dash, $300. Radio, CB radio, like 150. We're looking at $450. Seat with tax was like $800. We're looking at $1250. This seat is my old seat from the driver. I just got a new base on it, as you can see. However, that valve there is not working. That's why it's raised up all the way. So that's basically free. So far, we're looking at $1250. That wheel was sent to me by Forever Sharp for free, so I didn't pay anything for it. $1250 total so far. I do have new door panels. The reason I haven't put them on is because I've been meaning to replace the door hinge, as you've seen in the previous video, and I finally did that. So when I come back, I will be replacing the door panels on the truck. So we'll see how that works out. I do have new black panels from Steve. He makes door panels for trucks. Those are gonna get replaced. So far we're at $1250. So dash, radio, seat, the door. I replaced this plastic piece, bought a new one from Freightliner. The seal, the hinge, we're looking at $300 on that door. So we're looking at $1550. Nothing was really done to this door. New seal is like $30, doesn't matter. So we're looking at $1550 so far. Then we go back here. And also the thing is, a lot of things in here are gonna be DIY by me. So you've got to keep in mind, like, I put in a decent amount of time and effort into making things. Like this here, I made this. It's got 2 drawers, and then down here it's got a drawer for my fridge, which, by the way, this is an Iceco fridge. This is just a sliding tray here, and I finally shut it off. It's been working on for a year non-stop, and I finally shut it off. I emptied it out because I'm gonna be gone for a month. This bag's sticking up, but essentially I think this thing, I built this whole thing for around $250. So we're looking at $1,600 to $1,800. Air fryer, like $150. I got that actually as a birthday gift, so we're not gonna count that. $1,800. Back here, I didn't do anything here. I built this new board down here just because the old one was all peeling and ugly. So far we're like $1,800. And pardon if I'm screwing up my math, I'm thinking and talking, but you get the point. $1,800. This thing was like $50 to replace along these vents and this watermelon light. So looking at, let's call it $100. $1,800, $1,900. Sink, I built this sink. There's a separate video on that if you want to check that out. $1,800 and $1,900 was we said with this. The sink, I think I called it like $300. So we're looking at $2,200. Then down here we have my 3,000 watt
power drive inverter with cables. There's also a separate video on that. With this, we're looking at $2,200. This inverter with cables was like $400 because cables I bought were pricey, inverter was pricey. So we're looking at $2,500 so far with the inverter. So in here, I don't know if I'm missing anything. I don't think I am. I bought some new LED lights to put in there. I don't think I'm really missing anything here other than that. So we're looking at $2,500 as far as in here. My whole AC system was like $3,000. So we're gonna call this $5,500 so far. Everything in the interior that I've done and my whole AC system, which I'm gonna explain to you what I mean by the whole AC system when I step outside and we go to do a walkthrough. So far, interior pieces and the AC system, we're looking at $5,500 for these items in here. And a lot of these things were comfort and, you know, just something I wanted to do, etc., etc. $5,500. That's where we're at. So what I'm gonna do now is probably shut the truck off because it's really, really loud outside, so I can talk. And then we'll get under the hood, walk around, go over those things. So $5,500 is where we're at so far. And like I mentioned, I paid $17,500 for the truck. So far, we're at $23,000. Interior plus AC, $23,000. So now let's shut the truck off, hop outside, and go from there. So here's the exterior of the truck. As we mentioned, on the inside, we're talking about $23,000 with the truck purchase and then things I've done on the inside. My AC, I mean the boxes, this box and that box, the fuel tank, the AC unit itself, and then the generator, fan, everything. There's a video on it. So there we're looking at $23,000 with the AC, the truck, everything on the inside. These fenders were like $200. These are, I believe, Merit fenders, $23,200. These were free from Melissa's dad, $23,200. It is hot. I bought 4 new tires. I'm gonna have to get these 2. That one's getting heated up. These were $2,000 for 4 tires. So we're looking at $23,200, $25,200. And then I don't think I've done anything else around here. So we're looking at $25,200. We're gonna hop in here. Steering box was $1,100. $25,200, $26,300. Kingpins, I believe, were $1,200. So $26,500, $27,500 with the kingpins. And then I had drag links installed. I had to do an alignment twice. Crap, what did I even do the math so far? 25. I lost myself. So with the truck and that and tires was $25,200, $26,300, $26,500, $27,500 with kingpins. I did the tie rod ends, and then did we say $26,500? I think I did. Crap. Tie rod ends and that was $500 because I had to do alignment twice. That's $27,000. And then as you can see, I have a pretty nasty oil leak here that goes to the back. I think it's coming from the fuel check valve back there somewhere or something. But that's gonna hopefully get sorted out when we do this in frame. $27,000 where we're at so far. Then if we jump over here, if you watch my AC video, I did my whole AC with that. That cost me like $1,200. That's $28,200. Replace this water pump. I'd say this here in the water pump was probably $800. That's $29,000. Other than that, what did I do? I don't know, guys. I think that might be it. So we're basically looking at $29,000 for the truck and everything I've done to it so far, which to you may seem like a lot, but if you go on Truck Paper and you look for trucks to buy, good luck finding a truck for $29,000. And in reality, this truck could run more the way it is. However, I don't want to do that. I want to repair it while I can and have a solid running truck. So we'll see. $29,000 gets you this, but yeah, it's hot. So let's shut this and hop inside. I'm sure everybody outside is like, what's this moron doing with a camera recording that truck? But basically, this truck so far cost me $29,000, and it's due for an in-frame. So with in-frame, you know, I hope that for $20,000 I can basically do everything. Pistons, liners, bearings, head gasket, fuel injectors, the whole 9 yards, and even maybe upgrade the turbo. We'll see what all gets done. Parts have gone up in price, parts are not available, so there's a lot of things going on there. But Series 60 is very, very common engine, so hopefully there are things that you can still get, so we'll see. But long story short, I do not regret buying this truck. I'm very, very happy with this truck. I love the way I have my comfort in here. I mean, like my sink, my floor, my fridge, have a microwave under the bed, my steering wheel dash, once installed panels. I basically have quote-unquote APU. I have an air fryer. Like the truck simply offers me everything I need and more. And the best thing is, I own this truck. Bank does not own this truck. The only way I'd probably use this truck is if I didn't pay my taxes and IRS came and got it. That's the only way. But other than that, this truck is mine, you know? So that's basically what there is to it. Some people are gonna be like, oh, it's not worth it. Basically, this truck is gonna end up costing me like $50,000. So to some people, they're gonna be like, oh, that's not worth it. But trust me, I mean, you either buy a brand new truck that's $150,000, you run it for 4 or 5 years, you sell it for $80,000, it costs you $70,000 to run it for 5 years, or you buy this, have it for 5 years, and then hopefully, you know, you can still sell it or just keep rebuilding it. Which, you know, I think I'm a true believer in these older trucks. And the thing is about this truck, once you overhaul the engine, there isn't much more that can go wrong other than like your differentials and your transmission, which isn't even that expensive. You could probably do your diffs, and you know, I know transmission to rebuild is like $3,000-4,000. So that's what there is to it. But yeah, guys, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you liked the video. I'm gonna be gone for some time, for a month, which is a while, and I won't be making any videos. So if you do see this was recorded way before I uploaded, probably just because I had way more videos before this. But hopefully y'all liked the video. Hopefully I shared some new information for you. If not, let me know in questions. Email me. Sometimes my emails go to spam and I miss them. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the journey so far with me. Hopefully more is to come. And stay safe, everybody, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side or on the next one. I don't know if I said that right. Later, everybody.